using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah,
but like his core personality and his weight.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But Floyd.
Terence Crawford has finally addressed Floyd Mayweather's surprising demand for a fight in 2026, and the response has shocked boxing fans. In a good way. Crawford didn't shut it down at all. Instead, he welcomed the idea, hinting that he'd be open to settling the debate over who truly deserves the greatest label. Mayweather may be more than a decade older, but it was Floyd himself who sparked the challenge after growing furious over constant comparisons between him and Crawford.
I am now. How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code. You think I would tell you? He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't...
After his latest victory, Crawford was asked directly about fans pushing for a showdown with Mayweather, especially now that Floyd seems interested too. Crawford's answer was clear. If Mayweather wants it, it's big money, a massive opportunity, and a chance to share the ring with one of boxing's legends. Crawford made it known, he's not backing away.
When I looked at it, he came out in the southpaw stance and he took Canelo's jab away from him. As you know, if you take a fighter's jab away from them, then it's hard for them to really land. You force them to use one shot, and he forced them to use his backhand, his rear hand. Crawford was ready for the loop in the right hand.
Mayweather's call-out wasn't just random. Pressure has been building because even some of Floyd's former opponents have openly suggested Crawford might actually be better. That kind of talk doesn't sit well when you're a 5-division undefeated icon. Aside from Canelo, even Shane Mosley, who fought Floyd years ago, added fuel to the fire by echoing the same opinion.
Think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually taking more of a weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter.
Speaking with Fight Hub TV, Mosley made headlines when he claimed Bud Crawford may be the more complete fighter. While still praising Mayweather's talent, Mosley argued that Crawford's size, reach, and ability to climb weight classes gives him the edge. In Mosley's view, Crawford's all-around versatility could have made the difference in a hypothetical matchup.
If you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
The debate exploded even further after Crawford's historic win over Canelo Alvarez. Fans across the globe immediately began asking the biggest question. Has Bud now entered the greatest of all-time conversation? At 37 years old, Crawford shot back to the top of pound-for-pound lists, while Canelo, fresh off the loss, made an even bolder statement. In his post-fight press conference, Alvarez declared that Crawford is a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather.
You know, how did that feel to hear that from someone like him?
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people, you know, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was at the best.
He was ready for the body shots. You know, occasionally the straight right hand to the body would land for Canelo. But, you know, sooner or later, Crawford started getting out of the way of that as well by just pivoting, you know, on the angle and, you know, making Canelo reach. There were spots inside the ring that I saw Crawford, you know.
Crawford's recent accomplishments have only intensified these conversations, especially because he's still active and operating at his peak. Veteran analyst Max Kellerman weighed in, acknowledging that Mayweather has advantages in resume depth, defense, and pure hand speed, qualities that made Floyd one of the most dominant champions ever.
I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it.
Ultimately, the argument may never truly end, because greatness is always partly subjective. What's undeniable is that both men are undefeated champions who will go down as two of America's finest ever. But the discussion becomes even more interesting when people examine how each fighter built their perfect record. Active star Ryan Garcia touched on that very topic during a Ring magazine segment.
Changed the game like Floyd Mayweather.
He mastered the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. I mean, he's the best in that game. He's the best in, making money and making all the, the huge fights happen. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought nobody really in their prime. He always
after junior lightweight. Junior lightweight.
He changed the game in the worst way possible. You're right. Everybody's trying to protect their own. I had
a lot of stuff that Canelo was doing, and that I would say this, that work from Boots helped in that aspect because Canelo was reacting to a lot of the counters that Crawford was throwing. Usually in the past, Canelo would stand right there. He would lunge and he would stay in place, keep his feet in place. However,
that comment carried serious weight because Canelo has shared the ring with both men. His willingness to say it so openly, right after defeat, sparked instant controversy. Some fans pointed to Crawford's willingness to chase greatness across multiple divisions, while others defended Mayweather's flawless record and legendary resume. Crawford himself responded by saying that Alvarez's opinion matters because he has first-hand experience against both fighters.
Another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, I don't know, I don't go off of that. Floyd is the best fighter, in his era. And
However, Kellerman also pointed out that after Floyd moved beyond lightweight, he became far more selective. Kellerman suggested that Mayweather carefully chose the timing of dangerous matchups, which helped preserve the perfect record but left some fans questioning what might have happened against certain rivals at their peak. He contrasted this with Crawford's reputation for being willing to fight anyone, anytime.
Wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost.
Fans continue to break down who would win in a fantasy matchup. Mayweather's mastery of the sweet science, his jab, timing, and counterpunching allowed him to dismantle opponents across two eras of his career. Meanwhile, boxing fans are still stunned by what Crawford did to Errol Spence.
He drops him again. That's a hard knockdown that time with the left hook. How about that? Keeps battling, falling forward. How about that? Terence Crawford has stopped your...
Despite constant comparisons, Crawford has never tried to diminish Mayweather's legacy. When asked about their similarities, Bud gave Floyd his flowers, calling him the king and acknowledging everything Mayweather accomplished.
Excuse me, Crawford.
Right now, but earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So, it just depends on which Floyd Mayweather you talk about. Do you talk about money or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was what is seek and destroy.
Garcia argued that Mayweather mastered timing in a way that changed boxing forever, sometimes in a negative sense. He claimed Floyd was brilliant at knowing exactly when to take certain fights, often avoiding opponents in their absolute prime. Garcia even suggested that this approach influenced an entire generation of fighters obsessed with protecting their undefeated record.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that fight.
Yes, sir. I
Floyd
love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Kellerman explained that while Floyd's resume is deeper and his defense legendary, Crawford's mentality of taking risks resonates differently. He even compared Bud's respect among peers to icons like Sugar Ray Robinson and Roy Jones Jr., a level of admiration that goes beyond numbers on paper. Crawford also noted that while they share traits, their careers unfolded differently. Bud said he takes more chances, while Floyd evolved over time, from the aggressive, pretty boy version to the calculated Money Mayweather style after hand injuries changed his approach.
Pitch from the left hooks again. He's a lightning hand speed extraordinary. Left hook drops him. And then he hit his head off the en masse here at the engine.
As Crawford mentioned, Pretty Boy Floyd was the attacker, while Money Mayweather became the strategic genius who edged opponents with brilliance. Both versions built the legend, but Crawford's destruction of Spence reminded everyone that Bud possesses something special. Still, Crawford rejected the need for comparisons. At the post-fight press conference, he stated that Floyd was the greatest of his era and Bud is the greatest of his own. But the debate reignited moments later when Canelo was asked directly who was better, remembering that Mayweather handed him his first loss back in 2013.
Canelo a little worse than that because that style of fight, I don't think he beats someone like Terence Crawford. But if I'm Terence Crawford, of course I'll fight him again. But this time, I'm the A side. I think Terence Crawford is going to be more confident next time, knowing that I can punch with this guy. I can take his shot. I'm faster.
He fought Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
He didn't do what the last two did, just...
Some believe Crawford's win over Alvarez defined the post-Mayweather era. By capturing historic achievements, multiple division titles, and undisputed crowns, Bud entered a new financial and legacy tier. Defeating boxing's biggest star of the last decade elevated him into rare air.
Work on what you need to work on. Put your head down and grind. You get results like this.
I noticed that when I was watching the fight that Terence Crawford specifically, whichever side that Canelo threw at him, Terence would respond with a shot from that side as well. Did you see that in the tape that you watched of Canelo as a weakness, where he was vulnerable to shots at the same side that he threw?
Well, if you go back and look at the fight, you can hear us in the corner saying, you know, when he goes.
So how would it actually play out? In the early rounds, both men would likely feel each other out. Crawford might start busier, throwing volume and landing shots, even if many glance off Floyd's shoulder and guard. By the middle rounds, Mayweather's rhythm could take over, peppering with jabs and banking rounds.
That's unbelievable. The young boxing fans that are watching Floyd Mayweather, you're seeing one of the greatest defensive fighter of all time. I mean, that's how strong. You're wearing, then he's nowhere. You think you... And again, it's not just hand quickness, it's the movement of the head. The way he rolls with punches. But the way he makes a miss. I mean, here we go. Through a series of punches and nothing really landed. Terrific fight for Mayweather. All right.
But Crawford's constant pressure and firepower could still break through at moments, possibly even stunning Floyd. In a fight this close, Bud's activity and heavier shots might sway judges toward him on points. Even though Crawford stayed humble after beating Canelo, the boxing world refuses to let these debates fade.
Where does Canelo go from here, Henry?
He needs to rematch. If I'm Canelo, I want to rematch Terence Crawford. He got schooled, bro. He got outboxed by Terence Crawford. And I know that he's itching to get that one back. The first time he fought Triple G, and he came back the second time, and he legit beat Triple G.
Once in a lifetime fight, it doesn't need to be a rematch. I think Bud would do worse the next fight.
Spence was a feared body puncher who broke down fighters like Kell Brook, Sean Porter, and Eudenis Ugas. Yet Crawford made him look ordinary. Mayweather's defense, especially the Philly shell, reached near perfection. Bud is slick defensively too, but Floyd's defensive mastery was almost unmatched.
And the fighter, and that challenge for him pushed him even harder to train harder and to be better. That challenge, went up against Canelo, moving up 2 divisions, hearing that people are saying, oh, he didn't look too good against Madrimov, so how could he look good at 68? Well, that motivated more, man. He trained hard.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
yes,
fight.
Yes, sir. I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Mayweather was famous for downloading opponents in real time, luring them into traps, and breaking them down with ring IQ. His hit and don't get hit philosophy carried him to Hall of Fame immortality. Crawford, as an undisputed champion in multiple divisions, has proven his own intelligence and adaptability.
You want to you want to hook from the hips. So when you hook, boom, this toe gonna go up and this one gonna go down. So you hear and it's gonna go boom. So you can do a 45 or you can do straight. You come straight from the shoulders, boom. Open it up a little bit, bam. Get that, there you go. So, yeah, so you want to come, everything you do, you want to come from the shoulders, boom. Just turn it. When you coming in there, you hear, boom. And that's where that torque gonna come from. The hips, your legs, all the way up in.
Canelo admitted he couldn't solve Crawford's style, saying Bud had every answer in the ring. And then he repeated the statement that sent shockwaves through boxing. Crawford, in his opinion, is better than Mayweather. Until a real fight ever happens, the argument will continue. For the latest boxing updates, breaking news, and unforgettable moments, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay locked in with us for more.